Overall in the 4x400, and Arkansas did not win that heat. So Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, who have come into this meet so many times, ranked #1 in the country and failed to deliver, finally do so in an amazing style.
You see the happiness and you see the celebration, but you'll never know the full story. And unfortunately, the sport of track and field just won't tell it. But 3 of the best teams in the country fought for 3 days straight in Boston, Massachusetts, and I think you deserve to know what happened. This is the epilogue of the 2024 NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championships.
On the men's side,
the 3rd place team in the country coming into the national championship is NAU.
NAU, they're a contender. If they're going to do it, they'll because of their distance guys.
At the national level very often, so very excited to be here in this facility. Looking forward to a great weekend of competition.
Led by Nico Young, they're one of the strongest distance squads in NCAA history, but critics doubt the team's ability to perform on the national stage, given Young has never won an individual championship.
First of all, NAU was gone after conference meets.
No, I don't think so.
What are you talking?
I think NAU is at least staying in the top 5. Maybe they'll go down, but I think they're staying because their distance guys are like untouchable, and I don't think any of.
I was about to cuss my bad.
No.
Yeah, I mean it absolutely mimics that. I mean we have a lot of guys on this trip. A lot of them are the same ones that ran this cross country season, so it's kind of cool to bring that dynamic to the NCAA indoor meet. Absolutely.
NAU needs Nico Young to have a perfect meet if they have any chance of winning, which is a tall task from someone that's never won an individual NCAA championship.
And then you have the top end of the SEC, Arkansas, and they'll piece this thing together with points from jumpers and from throwers and from sprinters and from distance guys.
2nd ranked Arkansas is one of the most well-rounded teams in the country, and coming off of a SEC indoor sweep, they expect nothing less than a championship.
My team is doing fantastic. They've worked hard all year long to get to this point, so we're excited about the opportunity to go out here and compete against the very, very best in the country, and we're looking forward to this championship.
Texas Tech, they come in ranked #1. They're really fast. If they're going to win it, they'll do it with sprinters.
Texas Tech has one of the strongest sprint programs in NCAA history, but their stars are going to have a near-perfect meet if they want a chance at winning this championship.
Here, very excited to be here in Boston. I've not been here before, but fortunate to have the Big 12 championship. We kept people pretty healthy all year long, and so we're looking forward to a really big meet this weekend, and hope we have a chance.
After coming in ranked #1 so many times before, people wonder if Tech can finally win their first indoor title. Arkansas sets the tone immediately by picking up 10 early points, thanks to Wayne Pinnock, a living NCAA legend.
Field event action. First, the men's long jump from yesterday. This is Wayne Pinnock, the junior at Arkansas, followed fellow Jamaican Kerry McLeod over from Tennessee. All 4 of his fair jumps over 27 feet, including that one, which tied the Jamaican indoor national record and has the best jump in the world this year. 27.6 3/4 for Pinnock, and more importantly, 10 points for Arkansas.
Arkansas is a championship team, and they know how to gain a competitive edge. These 10 points put the pressure on every single team in the competition. It reduces everyone's room for error to 0 before they even step on the track. Now it's time for NAU to assert themselves on the national stage. Colin Salmon needs to make the men's mile final, or NAU has 0 chance of winning.
And then you also have Colin Salmon from NAU, a big part of their team aspirations at this meet. This season, he's not only run 350.
BYU. The first 4 are easily adjudicated.
Through all the contact, Salmon manages to make the final, keeping NAU's title hopes alive. Moving on to the men's 5,000 meters, it's time for Nico Young to step up and win his first national plaque.
Race for NAU. Arkansas also has 3, worth noting those numbers for the team implications that are.
In the heat full of Arkansas Razorbacks that are known to travel and move as a pack, Nico has a lot of work to do. he also has to compete with the NCAA 5,000 meter and 10,000 meter champion from outdoors last year, Kai Robinson. It's a make or break moment for Young.
I've always said at the high school and college level, track is a team sport. Your individual performance contributes to the success of the Arkansas team. Razorbacks are in the top 5.
Just under 65 seconds for the last 400 meters.
Outnumbered and with the odds against him, Nico makes a ferocious move that will either break his opponents or himself.
Coming around to the bell, and Nico Young is in full sprint. Young takes the lead over Wolf. Wolf covers it. Maru is dropped. Robinson trying to find something to react. Of course, coming down from Flagstaff, Nico Young drowning in oxygen here in Boston. He's finally going to win an individual championship. The collegiate record holder at 5,000 meters, part of that winning NCAA cross-country team from Flagstaff. Young wins the 5,000, followed by Wolf, Kai Robinson.
After being denied so many times before, Young can finally call himself a national champion.
I'm just super grateful because I've been practicing for this. I've always wanted one of these. I knew I could definitely get one today, but executing at a championship like this is a whole nother thing. So yeah, it bodes well for the end of this year.
2 heats in the men's 60-meter dash.
Texas Tech's turn to put themselves in the mix now. 5 runners in the men's 60-meter dash, needing nearly all of them to qualify for the final to keep their title hopes alive. Now, because the sport is so poorly reported on, most people don't know that Tech has another athlete that can run 6'4" in the 60.
Number 8, the senior from Texas Tech, Dondre Swint.
Well, Coach Wes Kitley calls him Debo.
Debo Swint and Sean Maswangani are in the same heat. After getting into an altercation at the Big 12 Conference Championships, the Tech senior and the Houston senior both needed to focus and execute to make the final and score points for their team.
In the next heat, when you asked Wes Kitley, it's like, how many guys do you want to get through in the 60-meter? He said all 5.
Texas Tech needs to score big points in the biggest events at the biggest meet in the world, and it all starts right now in this first heat of the men's 60.
Great start by Abdul Rashid in the middle of the track. Here comes Walker. It's going to be Walker winning the heat, and then a blanket. You can see that 4,000ths of a second separating the 2 Texas Tech Red Raiders. The difference is Swint is automatically on the final. Dean has to wait for this other heat to run.
This adds even more pressure to Terrence Jones. After false starting in the 60-meter final at the Big 12 Indoor Championships 2 weeks ago, he already has a lot of adversity to overcome. Now he has to win his heat to increase the chance of his teammates on the bubble making the final. Arkansas have Jordan Anthony, star football player in lane 8 of this 60-meter heat. Jones just can't focus on his own race anymore. He has to make sure he runs fast enough in the Razorback to keep him out the final, and hopefully drop a time fast enough to qualify his teammates in on time. As the reigning 60-meter champion and collegiate record holder, Jones doesn't have to just show that he's the fastest on the track anymore. He's got to show that he's the strongest athlete mentally at this meet. His coaches are praying he doesn't false start.
A little flinch there in lane number 4 for David Foster. Good start for Williams, a little slow for Jones, but Jones now through his drive phase, he's going to win the heat. And Tech ends up with 3 runners altogether, 3 sprinters, because they pick up 1 on time from heat number 1, and they had 1 automatic. So the Red Raiders have put themselves in position to score a lot of points in the men's 60, which is what they absolutely must do if they have any real legitimate designs on winning this team title.
On to the next. Texas Tech has 2 of the best athletes in the country in the 60-meter hurdles, one of them being the one and only Caleb Dean. One of the best dual hurdlers in NCAA history, Dean's never been able to win an individual championship himself, and Tech needs him now more than ever to do so.
Dean with a good start in lane 1. To Wilson, not such a great start, but there is Exelome right there to Dean. Dean takes over.
Disaster nearly struck for Dean after being hit on 3 of the 5 hurdles in the race, but he kept his composure and was able to qualify to the final, which is even more important given that his teammate Antoine Andrews wasn't able to get through.
And you gotta be built different to do this type of stuff. So, I mean, I think I'm built different, and So I did it. So as it turned,
Ted looked to qualify another athlete in the 400 meters, lion-hearted Shamar Utah of Jamaica.
Morales Williams, he wants that pole. He's not going to get it without a fight from Shamar Uter of Texas Tech. Another Red Raider. And
running out of the death sentence lane 3 with the world indoor record holder in the 400 meters and 2 senior first-team All-Americans in the heat, Utah Shoram Bod From and qualifies for the final in a nail-biting, gutsy performance. Terrence Jones has another foul to put out in the 200 meters, with his teammate Sean Brown failing to qualify to the final in the heat before him. The Bahamian knows he has to show up once again. His heat also includes the veteran sprinter Lance Lang from the Arkansas Razorbacks. Arkansas's ability to score points in a variety of different events puts so much pressure on the Red Raider sprinters. For Terrence Jones, this heat might as well be the final.
Lance Lang is there. Here comes Terrence Jones. Lang really holding his own, but here comes Jones with a hard finish. It's going to be Terrence Jones winning his heat 20:35. That becomes the fastest time we've seen, corrected to 20:34. Oregon drops a 20:52 and Lang a 20:57. All three of those times could advance.
Well, that is your...
Jones puts out the fire by winning his heat, and although it comes as a relief, he knows he'll have to come back and do it again tomorrow. We see the two vets show some love to each other at the end of a long day of competition. Most people don't know that Lang was committed to Tech a while ago, and the two share a mutual respect for each other. Tech didn't have a perfect day, and they didn't qualify everybody, but their three kings got through, which is enough for them to have a chance at clinching the title tomorrow on day 3. The final event of day 2 has some major team implications, and NAU's DMR needs to score big points to keep them in the title race. Arkansas also has a chance to extend their lead by grabbing some much needed points in this DMR.
Yeah, or most often a different quartet that you qualify with versus the one that you show up at the NCAA championship meet. And here is what you have.
Virginia fading back to 3rd. Shearer trying to make a race of it, but he's in no man's land right now for Arkansas. Choppy gets the bell, but it's better to be the hunter, Camden Gilmore.
Arkansas scores 4 points in the men's DMR, and surprisingly, NAU scores none.
North Carolina ends up 4th, Arkansas 5th.
As the DMR champions walk off into the sunset, we head into the final day of competition, with NAU and Arkansas tied for first place with 18 points. Texas Tech is nowhere to be found. They're going to need a historic day 3 if they want to win.
We're competing for a national title at the track at New Balance, because this is the 2024 NCAA Indoor Track and Field Championship. 17 events for the men and the women here on ESPN's Family Networks. It is going to be wicked good.
Going into day 3, a noteworthy loss to Arkansas's program is Jaden Hibbert. The NCAA record holder in the triple jump turned pro in January, leaving Arkansas without a guaranteed 10 points. This could come back to haunt them. No matter, a new Jamaican star in the vertical jumps was able to fill in the shoes of his countrymen.
No one else able to match him at that height. 10 big points for the Hogs, so the jumpers really came through for Coach Bucknam.
Arkansas keeps putting pressure on the competition by scoring big points early in the day. So Romaine Beckford, the transfer from South Florida that nearly crashed out at 7 feet 1 inch, won the men's high jump. Roger Storner, a discus thrower by trade, came second in the men's shot put. By 3:30 p.m., Arkansas was already up 18 points, leaving them very confident in their chances at winning the title.
It was great. Contributed to the points tally. I think we're in a good spot right now to win the championship, so looking forward to it.
It's most important for the team implications, and he has 2 teammates alongside.
After Colin Salmon failed to medal in the men's mile, Nico Young and his teammates need to score big points in this 3K to stay in the title race. Lined up next to Kai Robinson, you know this is going to be a barn burner. Robinson's a competitor, and he doesn't like to lose. He's not going to let it happen again. It's going to take something very special from Nico Young to win this 3,000 meters. Some people are born with it. Some people develop it. And most will never have it. But everybody can recognize the dog that's in Nico Young.
28 seconds on that most recent 200 meters. He is going for it, but Parker Wolf
from North Carolina made a valiant effort to track the move, and you gotta respect his dog. But after years of coming up short, Nico was not gonna let anybody take this from him.
100 meters to go, he's looking at trying to break Lawi Lalang's meet record, 7:45.94. Nico Young, Parker Wolf about 10 meters back. There's just too much real estate to make up. It's going to be Nico Young completing the double, 5,000 meters Friday night, 3,000 meters tonight. And he wins it with a meet record, 7:41 flat, now 7:41.01. But what's happening behind him? How many Lumberjacks were in scoring position after him to make a difference?
NAU wasn't able to score many points in this event. Nico Young just didn't have enough support to compete with the likes of Arkansas and Texas Tech. But for a team from a small conference, relying on a small group of guys, NAU did the impossible and showed their teeth on the greatest stage in college sports. By 4 o'clock p.m., Texas Tech was down 36 points to Arkansas. Texas Tech stars have zero margin for error. Only wins matter now, not winning efforts. 10-point performances or they go home with nothing.
And there you see the power and the strength of Texas Tech. Terrence Jones in the 60-meter, 200-meter, fastest time in the country in both those events. DeAndre Swift, they're looking for points for him in the 60. And Caleb Dean, he qualified in the 60 and the 60 hurdles as well. Coach Wes Kittley says this is a different team. Got a little swagger, a little attitude, we're ready to go.
More than ever, will Tech look to their Bahamian star, Terrence Jones. In his first ever season doubling, he needs to win both the 60 and the 200 meters to win his team a national championship. It's the kind of pressure that make diamonds.
Sit back, we'll watch Terrence Jones coming up next. Men's 60 here at the NCAA Championships.
In this particular race, a lot of tension, a lot of team implications. Bit of a blip for Jones at the top of the set, but he's just so good through that dry phase. He defends successfully. Maybe Kalen Walker or Dondre Swint of Texas Tech was right up there for second or third.
Amidst all the commotion, the athletes watched the clock in agony, waiting to see the result. Did they do enough? But they can't celebrate this victory for too long.
Right, John, they had 3 finalists, got 19 points out of that 60. Look it up.
The Red Raiders won this battle, but they can't celebrate this victory for too long. Still down 19 points, the war has just begun. Caleb Dean has to come back a few minutes later to run the 60-meter hurdle finals. Dean's notorious for falling short at national championships. Is it finally time that the legend lives up to his potential?
Dean and Brackens with great starts. Dean now with a little bit of a crack, but here comes Brackens up. Not sure who leaned it out first. I'm giving it to Dean, and takes the hurdle title and 10 points for the Red Raiders.
I've been praying for this day for a long time. After the 400-meter hurdles, I actually broke my foot warming up for the finals. So just from that day on, I just prayed about it. I worked my butt off, and it happened. I can't thank God enough. I was in the boot for 5 months. I didn't start competing until, I didn't start training until late October. So I just had to, literally do pool workouts, do the Ultra G. I just had to fight through it because I knew I had a place in the NCAA, and I'm literally speechless. I don't know what to say. I just can't thank God enough for this title.
Thanks to Dean, Wes Kittley's squad is now in a position to overtake Arkansas with a win in the 200 meters.
Before coming into these championships, he'd only been over 200 meters in races 2 times before, and so his third was in the semifinal yesterday. This will be his 4th. He says he's still trying to figure out the 200-meter indoors, the ups and the downs, and the little nuances of indoor track. And
this lane draws a real real advantage for Wanye McCoy because he gets to have Terrence Jones as the rabbit, but Jones is out very quickly. A little bit of a gap there against Tarsus Oregon trying to make up the stagger on Wanye McCoy, but McCoy is also strong. Coming off the turn. Oh, something happened with Wanye McCoy, and that's a disaster for Florida. Jones wins the heat and will win the title.
2 belts, the double champ. Jones has done his part. Now it's up to Texas Tech's 4x4 to clinch the national championship.
The track at New Balance here in Boston. Well, we have had a lead change now after 14 events. Texas Tech, on the strength of that double by Terrence Jones, now vaults into the lead by 6.5 points over Arkansas. All right, they're off in section 2 of this 4x400 relay, the concluding event here at these championships. From the inside, it's Texas, Texas A&M, Texas Tech, and Aleph Pole. Ahmad Robinson gets it. There's a fight there. See, that's what I'm talking about. Things happen when they bump. They can drop the baton. All kinds of things are possible. So Texas Tech really needs to stay out of trouble. And Caleb Dean making quite the move there. There's that 400 hurdle strength. But Ahmad Robinson holds him off. Robinson, a gutty runner for Pat Henry's Aggies, but he is suffering. Keeps going, though, and the Aggies hand off first. Well, they will pass first. And for A&M is Jaqualan Scott, their hurdler. For Tech, Josh Bohr. It's A&M, Tech, Alabama, and UT as they get ready to exchange the baton for the final time. Tech's job's got to be just don't drop it, don't screw it up. A little bit of a...
Chris Robinson, no slouch in the 400 meters as well. 3rd place in the SEC championships and your NCAA champion in the 400-meter hurdle.
Well, they're all bunched together now. Robinson's run a lot of this final leg in lane 2. Here comes Texas Tech. Shamar Uter, here comes UT, very close to the finish, I think it was A&M that held them off.
Shamar Uter runs 44 seconds on the anchor leg to give his team a chance. After all the training, the sacrifice, the blood, the sweat, and the tears, the only thing Tech can do now is sit and wait. Their fate is in Arkansas's hands now.
Sun Devils, Lance Lang for Arkansas, and they're well back. They need to be winning this section if they have any chance. That's Johnny Blockberger for the Trojans.
Well, keep an eye on Lance Lang in the back there. He's run some incredible 4x4 legs for the Arkansas Razorbacks. He's trying to make a move to get them up there.
Florida challenging, but Arizona State hanging in there in 1st place. Coming up for the 2nd exchange, Arkansas going wide. Legs were under 46 seconds. Florida with a final push to try to run a better. Overall in the 4x400, and Arkansas did not win that heat. So Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, who have come into this meet so many times, ranked #1 in the country and failed to deliver, finally do so in an amazing style.
Well, you see the celebration begin for the Red Raiders, the Wes Kintley-led Red Raiders for their 1st indoor championship.
You can like a post, you can watch a stream, but you'll never know the story until it's told. There have been 58 national championship winning teams whose stories are buried in the record books. But this one, thankfully, will never be forgotten.